I figured out why lazy students get better grades than you. You know that classmate who barely shows up, never seems to study, yet somehow always scores higher than you? Yeah, makes you feel like an idiot. You're grinding every single day, spending hours buried in your textbook over and over and still getting average grades while they're out there actually living their life. And the worst part, you're convinced that working harder means better grades, but clearly that's a lie because you're busting your ass and they're barely trying. So what's really going on here? Well, here's the truth. The problem isn't that you don't study enough, it's that you're getting played and you don't even realize it. These lazy students discovered something you haven't, and once you see what it is, you're going to be pissed you wasted so much time. I'm going to expose right now the 7 dirty tricks lazy students use to get better grades than you with minimum effort. Let's start with dual and back training. Lazy students aren't actually lazy. They're just allergic to wasting time. They hate spending hours studying only to forget everything later. So instead of memorizing harder, they upgrade their brain first. That's what dual and back training does. It's a short brain game, just 15 to 20 minutes a day that strengthens your working memory, the part of your brain that holds and manipulates information while you study. Think of it like expanding your brain's RAM. The more working memory you have, the easier it is to understand complex topics, connect ideas, and actually remember what you study. Research shows it actually makes your brain process stuff faster and cuts mind wandering by like 25%. 6, they use the screenshot method. Okay, so lazy students don't sit there writing notes like idiots. They literally train their brain to take mental screenshots. Here's what they do. They look at something important, like a diagram or formula, and just stare at it for like 30 seconds. Then they close their eyes and try to see it in their head. They're pulling up a picture on their phone. After that, they open their eyes, check what they got wrong, and do it again until it clicks. I know it sounds kind of weird, but it actually works like crazy. Why? Because your brain is way better at remembering pictures than words. A study in cognitive psychology found this. It's called the picture superiority effect. When you force yourself to recreate an image from memory, your brain has to actually work for it, and that effort is what locks it in. 5, they use lecture scavenging. Listen up, idiot. Lazy students don't waste hours figuring crap out alone. They find the smartest kid in class and straight up steal their understanding. Not their homework, genius, their thinking process. After class, they walk up and ask, "How did you understand this?" and let someone else do the mental heavy lifting. Bam! They just saved themselves 3 hours of staring at textbooks like lost puppies. They also join study groups to absorb how top students think, not to suffer together like confused idiots. But wait, there's more. They use office hours. Professors are literally paid to explain things, so they actually show up and ask questions. So why does this actually work? Simple. When someone who already understands it breaks it down for you, your brain absorbs it like 10 times faster. 4, they practice selective ignorance. Listen, lazy students don't waste time trying to memorize the entire textbook like idiots. They're way smarter than that. They reverse engineer the whole damn exam. Here's what they do. First, they track down past tests. Then they corner seniors and ask, what topics show up every single time? Because guess what? Teachers are human and predictable as hell. If the teacher spent 2 full classes on a topic, yeah, that's definitely showing up. And those homework problems they assigned? Pay attention because whatever concepts show up there will definitely be on the exam, just tweaked a bit. So before opening that textbook, ask yourself, is this actually gonna be on the test? Better yet, throw your syllabus into ChatGPT and ask it to find the top 5 topics that matter most. Study only those first. Ignore the rest until you've got the core down. Now look, knowing these tricks is one thing, but actually implementing them without screwing it up is another. That's exactly why I put together everything I learned the hard way into one complete blueprint. It's the same system I used to get into the #1 university in Latin America, competing for one of just 12 spots out of thousands. with zero prep course, zero private tutor, just this strategy. And the best part? It works even if you think you're a bad student or just not smart enough. So, don't be an idiot. Click the link in the description and watch my free masterclass where I break down the exact study system that can skyrocket your grades without sacrificing your free time like a fool. 3. They use passive absorption. Smart, lazy students figured out that your brain doesn't actually need you sitting there suffering to absorb information. They're listening to lectures at 1.5 times speed while walking to class, throwing on educational podcasts during their gym sessions, and literally falling asleep to audio flashcards. Here's what they do. They record themselves reading their notes and blast it while showering or making instant ramen. They play the same boring lecture 3 different times in 3 different contexts. Once at the gym, once while scrolling TikTok, once right before bed. Triple the exposure without spending a single minute at an actual desk, and somehow they're getting better results than you. And before you say this is bullshit, there's actual research showing your brain picks up information even when you're not paying full attention to it. Plus, sleep scientists found that going over stuff right before you crash helps your brain lock it in better while you're sleeping. 2. They pre-study before class. Listen up, idiot. Stop showing up to class like a clueless princess and then wondering why nothing makes sense. Smart, lazy students spend 10 to 15 minutes before class just skimming through the material. Not studying it, not trying to understand it, just looking at the headings, bold words, and diagrams. That's it. This little trick gets your brain ready, so when the professor starts talking, it feels like a quick review instead of brand new info your brain has to fight with. Your brain goes, oh, hey, I've seen this before. And suddenly everything clicks way faster. 1. They study during class. Lazy students don't study at home because they already did it in class, while you're sitting there like an idiot planning to figure it out later. They're asking questions the second something doesn't click. They pay attention to what the teacher repeats or emphasizes because that's what's on the test. You know what happens when you save studying for later? You either don't do it, or you waste hours being confused about something that could have been cleared up in 30 seconds. They treat class like their only study session. While you're planning to study at home, they're already done and free. And if you want to learn how to actually study before it's too late, click the link in the description for my free masterclass. I break down the exact system I used to get top grades while still having a life. Now, I hope to see you in the next video. If you don't show up, well, you're even dumber than I thought.